I went from 0 to 7 figures in 11 months in my 20s, but I made every mistake in the book. And here are 16 most expensive mistakes and the exact fix for each one so you can save your time and money. We have arranged them in categories by sales, operations has a lot of mistakes, and then hiring and finance. Let's get straight into it. Mistake number 1, chasing volume over quality. Now, I used to have 90 plus sales calls per month, and I thought like the more calls I take, the better it's going to be and the better deals I'm going to close, but I was definitely wrong. So what happened was I had low close rate because I was doing more calls. Like that blew my mind. Like, how is that even possible? The another thing was I was exhausted taking 90 calls. Like 90 calls is a lot per month. And imagine all of that being unqualified. Like you're literally wasting your time. So I had no time for anything else because I was the only person running everything. I was dealing with fulfillment. I was dealing with hiring. I was dealing with client communication. I was doing marketing. I was doing sales. Clients that we were attracting were wrong clients. They were not our ICP. We were just letting anybody in who had a credit card. The fix for this is a quality approach. So you take fewer calls who are qualified. So how you can do this is you have a gated form where you ask them a bunch of questions before they book a call with you, and you pre-qualify them and do not hop on a call with anybody who books a call with you. So this way, at 30 calls, 30% closure, I was getting 9 deals per month. Like the math is crazy. And here I was doing only 6 point something. So I was doing 6 per month. Here I was doing 9 per month. And I'm also getting my time back, which is a win-win. So the key is do fewer calls, be more prepared, and get better results. Mistake number 2, no recurring revenue model. I was living project to project like a freelancer, and one bad month meant I'm in a panic mode. We had 60% one-off projects and 40% recurring revenue. So I was literally starting from zero every single month. And I couldn't hire, I can't invest, I can't plan ahead because I didn't know where my next deal is going to come from. Now the fix for this is you have a recurring revenue model and you flip the ratio to 70% recurring revenue. And this gives you predictability in everything. You can hire ahead, you can invest in systems, you can actually sleep at night. Mistake number 3 was menu selling. Now I showed clients everything we could do for them. Like if they ask, hey, I want to do a product demo video, like, okay, we do that. They want anything, I just raise my hand, like we can do that. When your website is speaking of everything, it means like you're good at nothing. You need to specialize in a few things, and you can also sell them all of the other things and like keep them in your back pocket, right? Once they gain trust in you, then you can sell them later on. But like initially, your website just speak about a few things. We showed clients everything we could do, and they got overwhelmed and chose nothing at all. We were presenting like us as a full service ladder on every single call, and the prospects, they were like, oh, let me just think about it, and they disappeared. A mentor really gave me like a good nugget about this. He was like, confused customers don't buy. It's like, oh my God, he's so right, So the fix for this is you have one clear offer for their main pain point, and that's it. Cross-sell after they have built the trust in you and you have delivered on your first promise. Key lesson here is simplicity beats complexity. Mistake number 4, rushing the first call. Like I had 20-minute discovery calls where I was just trying to close everything, and the conversion rates were poor. Of course they were poor. Just rushing them, and I didn't diagnose what their problems are and trying to close them as soon as possible. Remember, like what happens with this is it builds too much pressure and too little trust on your prospects. And especially with the enterprise buyers, they need time to evaluate. They have a huge team. They need to talk to a bunch of people before they make a decision. The prospect, they feel sold to, and they don't feel understood. Like for them to buy, they need to connect with you. Like this person understands my problem and not feel like he's selling me or something. So the fix for this is you have a 2-call system where in the call 1, you do a deep discovery, can be 30 to 45 minutes, and you understand their pain points, you understand their business, and you don't pitch them. Like you're genuinely interested in their problems and you want to present a solution. And from here, you move to call 2, a tailored pitch based on the call 1, and you customize to their exact needs. They feel understood, and you can close it with confidence. So from here, you can just go, I think, from 10% to 30%. I think 30% is a good close rate. So as soon as I implemented this in my business, I closed a lot of bigger deals the same week. Mistake number 5 is your hiring from social media. Now, I think this is subjective, but this is my experience. Like I was hiring only from Twitter DMs, and a lot of people were like, they wanted to work because they want to learn our systems and see like behind the scenes so they can start their own agencies. So we lost like 2 key members in 1 month, and then we almost destabilized the entire operations opportunity. But with that being said, we also have few of our best hires from social media and have former contracts with them. I wasn't even implementing contracts, so you need to have those like 30-day notice period or something, 2 weeks. Your hiring funnel should be the same as your sales funnel. Like it should always be active, so you're not panic hiring all the time. The profit sharing, you can do that, tied to the tenure, so like 1 or 2% per year, aligning with incentives without diluting their ownership. So the key lesson I would say is don't hire from your customer base. There's going to be a conflict of interest in that. So mistake number 6 is going to be your building 12 systems at once, which I think a lot of people do, right? So when I realized we needed systems, I went all in, like 12 core systems simultaneously, and 80% of them were not even complete. So what was happening is I had a CRM, which was 35% done. And then I was jumping from here to here. Then I had, okay, let me just do KPIs. So like, okay, 20% done. Let me just move to content workflow, 50% done. And then same with I just kept going like this and spent heavily on tools and ops. Half-built tools are not of good use, right? So the fix for this one is one at a time in an order. Build them sequentially, not simultaneously. So for example, let's say the first touch point with your clients are sales process. So complete that first, and then do the onboarding, and then do the fulfillment, and then do the KPI. So finish the one before starting the next one. Fix the business in order of the customer experience. So this is exactly how they're going to interact with your business. So the key lesson for all of this is make sure you're revenue optimizing before operationally optimizing. So close more deals before perfecting internal tools, which nobody's going to use if you don't even have clients. Mistake number 7, being the circus and the clown. Now, I was doing sales, onboarding, PM, client success, all of it, every single day. Now, what happened with that is I was burnt out, like nearly killed the business. I wasn't the bottleneck. I was the entire pipeline. I was like, literally, this was me. And if I got sick for a week, revenue stopped coming in. Everything was me. Namya was the business, right? So this is the theory of constraints. Like your business grows as fast as its biggest bottleneck. When the bottleneck is you, the ceiling is very low. Now the fix for this is delegating 90% of the processes. We have this, huge ego about everything. Oh, nobody can do the same. Nobody can do, sales as I can do. Nobody can onboard clients as I can do. Like if you do that, as you scale, your company's not going to scale. Key lesson is every hour you spend on low value task is an hour not spent on revenue. Like mark this words. Now mistake number 8, single channel dependency. I was heavily reliant on X or Twitter for leads, like almost, I think 1.5 years of our business. And one algo change wiped out nearly half of our pipeline in 2025. So what happened was like algo was changing quite a lot in entire 2025, and our pipeline was literally gone like by 50%. We had zero control over it. So the fix for this is you should diversify your lead acquisition, which is something you can do with content. You can do outbound, you can do referrals, but like don't heavily rely on referrals. As soon as you hit like 500,000 in revenue or like almost 1 million in revenue, you should diversify for sure. Like you can use content like X, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, wherever your target audience hang out. And then outbound, you can do cold emails, cold DMs, you can have referrals, you can have partnerships, but make sure that everything works when you work. Do not just keep jumping on one platform, like one channel to another and thinking like, oh my God, nothing works for me. A lot of people have this victim mindset where they're like, oh my God, ads don't work for me. Like, dude, how much have you tried ads? Oh, I just for like 6 months. I'm like, okay. No single channel dependency should be more than 30 to 40% of your pipeline. If you're losing one channel, you would cripple your business. And then you don't have a business, you have a dependency. Mistake number 9, no contracts or clear terms. Now, I used to do a lot of handshake deals and informal agreements. Now, with the clients and also the team members, clients used to pause without notice. There was also a lot of scope creep. Now, what happened is I was too scared of losing clients to ask for a contract. It's like, if I'm going to ask them for a contract, they're going to say no and I'm going to lose them. Let's just, do a handshake deal. Clients would ask for extra work without understanding the cost implications. No legal ground to stand. Fix for this is formal contracts with 30-day notice periods, and then you can also have SOWs and refund policies. Like literally everything should be upfront so they can respect your boundaries. Our client relationships actually improved after we implemented the contract, and we were attracting better quality of clients. Mistake number 10, no client success system. We were delivering projects and hope the best, like no check-ins, no upsells, no retention strategies. So what happened was this, that client satisfaction was a black box. Surprise churn, didn't see like what was coming, always needing new clients to replace the old ones. Now this is a classic leaky bucket problem. Doesn't matter how many new clients you pour in, they keep draining out. The fix for this is we can have a bi-weekly 30-minute touch base calls with every client, pre-call forms, and then you can also have client dashboard tracking satisfaction plus flag and upsell opportunities. So key result with this is like your churn is gonna drop dramatically once you apply all of these things. Mistake number 11, ignored the lifetime value. So we were so focused on project value instead of the relationship value. Average client that was retaining with us was for like 1.5 months. They were doing one project and then gone. We were constant hamster wheel of chasing new clients. So the revenue was dropping linearly and was not compounding. The fix for this is build retention systems. Now we're targeting 8 to 9 months average LTV through better service, proactive communication, and strategic upsells. Key numbers are we went from 1.5 months to 8 to 9 months, and we had like 5 to 6x increase. One retained client is worth now 5 new ones. Mistake number 12, wrong org chart. We structured team around the people I had instead of what the business need at the moment. Now what happened was the lead designer was handling design and project management and QA, which was burning him out. And then we had gaps nobody was covering. Like what was going to happen between person A, person B, and then me? I was filling all the gaps here. When people left, the roles collapsed. So the fix for this was we designed the ideal org chart based on the outcomes needed and based on the revenue targets, and separated design from PM clearly. And then we mapped out the right roles and hired for those gaps. So the key lesson was that once we started with structure and then fill in, not the other way around, we had more clarity around the entire organization. Mistake number 13, no proper P&L tracking. We were making rough estimates instead of accurate financials. Like just like, you looks good or looks bad. That was my financial analysis. So what happened was I could not make informed decisions about hiring, pricing, or investments. And I didn't know my real margins or anything. And the fix for this is you hire a good bookkeeper and review your P&L monthly, weekly, and make it a non-negotiable so you can make data-driven decisions only. So the key lesson is you need to know where the money is going so you can make informed decisions. Mistake 4, overcomplicated pricing. We had different prices for every single client. It was a total chaos. What happened was like pricing was changing based on my mood, like the other week, or how much I liked the person. So which was confusing the prospects, and it was wildly inconsistent margins. Some projects were profitable, some was like done for free almost. So the fix for this is you have 3 clear pricing tiers. You have the same price for each tier, no exceptions. You don't do a lot of custom code, which saves you a lot of time. And this way you can see like your average deal size will definitely go up, and you will have sales process that is like 10x more smoother. Mistake number 15, no onboarding process. So once we signed the client, immediately they had no idea what's going to happen the next, just like a Slack invite and then SOW. It was scope creep before the real work even started. It was dissatisfaction from day one. It was terrible first impression. The fix for this is you should have a formal onboarding call with clear roadmap, timeline, deliverables, and communication protocols. A one-click handoff system where the sales closes the deal, hits the button, the client automatically gets the welcome email, SOW, workspace invite, and onboarding call link. So the first impression matters a lot. The onboarding is first impression. Mistake number 16. I was always putting out fires instead of preventing them. I was stuck between the firefighting loop. Every single day, a new emergency emerged, and there was no strategic planning. There was no system building. So you spent all the time, all the week or month reacting. You never built systems. You're the same fire, same problem every single month, and you repeat it forever. Like this loops keeps on repeating until you have that systems approach. In this case, you have a monthly strategy session where you zoom out to 10,000 feet and you find the weekly constraint reviews, like what was our number one bottleneck, and then fix that only. And if you solve the same problem twice, you definitely need a system for that. So the key lesson is systematic execution will beat reactive problem solving every single day. Now, here are the results we got from all things all the mistakes I've done so far. So for example, we were having 90 plus sales call, then we were having 30 plus sales call, qualified ones. We were having closer to 7%. We had greater than, on our good months, we were having 65 plus percent close rate. Recurring revenue from 30% to 70% to 2.3x. The growth, instead of firefighting, we were having a predictable revenue. My time is freed a lot, so I'm getting 30 plus hours a week back. Average deal size is 2.5x higher. Client LTV got 5 to 6x, and we also have clients who are with us for almost 2 years now. Now you can see the only thing we changed here was the systems. Now your business should work without you, not because of you. Every mistake taught me that systems are much better than hustle. Anybody can hustle harder than you, but very few people build the right systems. Now these mistakes were expensive, but they were worth every penny. And I would love to know what mistakes you guys have made scaling your business. Drop them in the comments, and I'll be back with more videos. Peace.